What if the next saint of our time didn't wear a cassock or live in a monastery, but was someone who loved music, traveled the world, and posted on social media, just like many of us? What if holiness could look like an ordinary life lived with extraordinary love? Today, we'll introduce you to Helena Kmieć, a young woman who embodied the joy of the gospel and might just become the next millennial saint after Blessed Carlo Acutis. Helena Kmieć, a vibrant 25-year-old lame missionary from Poland, lived a life full of faith, service, and adventure. Known for her radiant smile, her love for music, and her passion for helping others, Helena left a profound mark on everyone she met. And even though her life was tragically cut short during a mission in Bolivia, her story continues to inspire countless young people across the globe. In April, the Church officially opened her cause for beatification, recognizing the heroic virtues of this remarkable young woman. But who was Helena Kmieć? What led her to dedicate her life to God and others? And why does her legacy resonate so deeply with millennials today? Stay with us as we uncover the incredible journey of this modern servant of God, a journey that could one day lead her to sainthood. Let us travel back to February 9th, 1991, to the quiet Polish town of Libiaz, nestled just west of Krakow. It was here, in a devout and loving family, that Helena Kmieć took her first breath. Her arrival into the world was marked by both joy and sorrow. Just 6 weeks after her birth, Helena's mother passed away, a loss that could have shadowed her early years. But God had a different plan for Helena, surrounding her with love and faith that would form the foundation of her extraordinary life. Helena often said she had 3 mothers: her biological mother, her stepmother Barbara, who raised her with tenderness and care, and the Blessed Virgin Mary, whom she trusted as her heavenly guide. In the Kmieć home, faith wasn't just a part of life, it was life itself. The walls were adorned with icons, reminders of God's constant presence, and prayer was woven into the rhythm of their days. As Helena grew, she absorbed this atmosphere of devotion, finding joy in her relationship with Jesus from an early age. Her family's influence planted the seeds, but Helena's own heart embraced the faith with fervor. Even as a child, she showed an extraordinary sensitivity to the presence of God. Her parish priest described her as someone who didn't just know about God, but experienced Him with enthusiasm and joy. This wasn't a forced piety. It was a natural, radiant love for the Lord that would guide her every step. Helena's gifts extended beyond her faith. She was brilliant, so brilliant, in fact, that she skipped a grade in school and earned a scholarship to a prestigious high school in England. Yet despite her academic success and her exposure to a broader world, she remained deeply rooted in her Polish heritage and her Catholic faith. She often spoke about how much she missed home, particularly the spiritual community that nurtured her soul. During her university years, Helena's love for the Eucharist became even more central. Almost every day, she attended Mass, finding in the Blessed Sacrament her source of strength and joy. For Helena, the Eucharist wasn't just a ritual, it was a relationship. It was her daily bread, her connection to Jesus, and the fuel for her mission to serve others. Helena's faith was anything but solemn or reserved. She lived it with joy, singing in her parish choir, playing guitar on pilgrimages, and bringing people together through music and laughter. Her light-hearted nature and genuine love for others made her faith contagious, an invitation for those around her to encounter Christ in their own lives. From her earliest days, Helena Kmieč's life was a beautiful tapestry of faith, family, and love. It's no wonder that those who knew her often saw her as a living example of God's grace. But this is just the beginning. As Helena's story unfolds, we'll see how this small-town girl, anchored in faith, would go on to touch lives around the world in ways no one could have imagined. Helena Kmieć was not just a woman of deep faith. She was also incredibly gifted, a true testament to how God's grace can work through our natural talents. Whether in the classroom, on stage, or in her community, Helena's life was a symphony of intellect, artistry, and service. Each note reflected her joyful spirit and her commitment to glorify God in everything she did. Even as a young girl, Helena's intelligence shone brightly. She excelled in school, skipping a grade, a rare accomplishment that spoke to her remarkable abilities. Her academic prowess earned her a scholarship to study at a prestigious high school in England, a testament to her determination and talent. But despite her success abroad, Helena's heart remained firmly rooted in Poland. She cherished her homeland, its rich Catholic traditions, and the community that had nurtured her faith. Helena wasn't just a scholar. She was an artist at heart. Music was her passion, and her gifts in this area were extraordinary. She attended music school and often graced her parish and community with her talents. Whether leading the choir with her clear, uplifting voice or strumming her guitar during walking pilgrimages, Helena used music as a way to connect with others and draw them closer to God. One of Helena's favorite traditions was the walking pilgrimage to Jasna Góra, the spiritual heart of Poland. Year after year, she joined the throngs of pilgrims making their way to the shrine of Our Lady of Częstochowa. And Helena didn't just walk. She sang her way there, using her voice and guitar to uplift weary travelers and create moments of prayerful joy. For her, music wasn't just a talent. It was a ministry, a way to share her faith and encourage others on their own spiritual journeys. What's striking is that Helena never let her talents go to her head. Her academic success, her musical gifts, and her leadership skills were always seen as blessings to be shared, not achievements to be flaunted. She carried herself with humility, always striving to use her God-given abilities for the benefit of others. This selflessness became a hallmark of her character, laying the groundwork for the incredible service she would later undertake as a missionary. In her academic and musical pursuits, Helena Kmieć exemplified the beauty of a life fully alive, a life where every talent is offered back to God in gratitude and service. But her story doesn't end here. Helena's heart longed for something even greater, to bring God's love to the farthest corners of the world. And that's exactly what she set out to do. Helena Kmieč's heart was uniquely attuned to the needs of others. From an early age, she understood that faith wasn't something to keep to oneself. It was a gift to be shared. This conviction grew stronger as Helena matured, and soon her life became a testament to what it means to live for others. Whether in her own community or on the other side of the world, Helena was always ready to serve with a smile and an open heart. One of Helena's first major steps into leadership came during World Youth Day 2016, hosted in Krakow, Poland. Her home parish found itself in a bind when the original coordinator for the event had to step down. With little time to prepare, her parish priest turned to Helena, confident that her organizational skills, fluency in languages, and warm personality made her the perfect candidate. Helena didn't hesitate. She quickly rearranged her own plans, sacrificing her vacation days to ensure the success of the event. This moment wasn't just about logistics. It was about her willingness to step in, even at great personal cost, to support her community and share her faith with the world. Helena's heart for service extended far beyond Poland. She joined the Salvatorian Missionary Volunteers, a group of young laypeople committed to bringing God's love to those most in need. This wasn't a decision she took lightly. The volunteers underwent a full year of spiritual formation, preparing their hearts and minds for the challenges of mission work. For Helena, this was an opportunity to combine her faith, her talents, and her love for adventure in the service of others. Her first assignments took her to Hungary and Romania, where she helped organize day camps for children. These weren't just ordinary camps. They were places of joy learning and spiritual growth. Helena taught English and math, led activities, and shared the gospel with children who were hungry not only for food but for love and hope. Later, she traveled to Zambia, where she worked with street children, teaching them practical skills and helping meet their basic needs. Despite warnings about the dangers of her mission locations, Helena never wavered. She trusted that God's protection and grace would guide her, and she poured herself into every moment of service. For Helena, helping others wasn't a duty, it was a joy. Her compassion was contagious, her energy boundless. Whether she was leading a group of volunteers or comforting a child, Helena radiated Christ's love in all she did. Those who worked alongside her often remarked on her ability to make everyone feel seen and valued, no matter their background or circumstances. She saw the face of Christ in the people she served and responded with generosity and tenderness. In a world that often tells us to look out for ourselves first, Helena Kmieć lived counterculturally. She showed that true happiness comes from giving, from stepping out of our comfort zones to serve those in need. Her missionary work laid the foundation for the final chapter of her life, a chapter marked by profound sacrifice and enduring faith. But even in the face of tragedy, Helena's story continues to inspire. What comes next will show just how deeply she was willing to follow Christ's call to serve. By 2017, Helena Kmieč's missionary spirit had led her to yet another corner of the world, Cochabamba, Bolivia. This vibrant city in the heart of South America was to be the setting for her next act of love and service. Helena had joined a mission to help prepare a preschool for children in need, run by a group of religious sisters. It was a task that combined her passion for education, her love for children, and her unshakable desire to serve God wherever He called her. Helena arrived in Bolivia with her characteristic enthusiasm, radiating joy despite the challenges that lay ahead. On social media, she joked about her journey, titling her photo album Bolivia, Mission Possible. In her pictures, Helena's face beams with excitement as she and her fellow volunteers settle into their new surroundings. For Helena, every new mission was an opportunity to live her faith more deeply, to meet Christ in those she served, and to share His love in ways both big and small. Helena's mission work was not without its challenges. Yet, she approached every day with a heart full of trust in God. She attended Mass regularly, drawing strength from the Eucharist as she always had. Even thousands of miles from home, Helena stayed rooted in her relationship with Jesus, knowing that He was the source of her courage and joy. She once wrote that grace is a gift gratuitously given from God to give to others, and it was clear that Helena lived out this belief to the fullest. But on the night of January 24th, 2017, tragedy struck. Helena had only been in Bolivia for a few weeks when an intruder broke into the missionary's residence. In a senseless act of violence, Helena's life was taken. The details of that night remain shrouded in uncertainty, and her killer's motives are unclear. What we do know is that Helena's earthly journey ended in an act of pure sacrifice, her heart fully given to the mission she had embraced. In the wake of her death, those who knew Helena found solace in one extraordinary detail. The night before she died, Helena had received Holy Communion. She passed away in a state of grace, her soul prepared to meet the Lord she loved so deeply. For her family and friends, this was a powerful reminder of her closeness to God and the faith that had guided her every step. Helena's death was a devastating loss, but it was not the end of her story. Her life, though brief, was a testament to the transformative power of God's love. Her willingness to serve in dangerous and unfamiliar places, her joy in sharing the gospel, and her trust in God even in the face of uncertainty all speak to a soul filled with heroic virtue. Helena's story reminds us that the call to holiness often comes with great sacrifice, but it also comes with the promise of eternal joy. Helena Kmieć gave her life for others, following in the footsteps of Christ Himself. Her tragic death in Bolivia is not just a story of loss. It is a story of hope, of faith, and of a life lived for God's glory. As her cause for beatification moves forward, the Church will look not only at her final moments, but at the beautiful, grace-filled life that led her there. And for us, her example stands as an invitation to live our own lives with the same courage, generosity, and unwavering trust in God. Helena Kmieč's life is a beautiful reminder that sainthood isn't about being perfect. It's about living with love, courage, and an unwavering trust in God's plan. From her deep faith and missionary spirit to her joyful, everyday witness, Helena showed us what it means to say yes to God in every moment. She may have left this world too soon, but her legacy continues to inspire, calling us all to live with the same generosity of heart. As the Church moves forward with Helena's cause for beatification, let's continue to pray for her intercession and reflect on how her story can guide our own paths to holiness. Remember, sainthood isn't out of reach. It's a journey we're all invited to take. If you found Helena's story as inspiring as we did, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and share it with your loved ones. May God bless you, and see you in our next video.